I'm a lot further away, so the swing is going to be a lot more around. It'll start on the right path, but it'll swing more around me. So when I have the downswing path is much more acutely, I have to feel like I'm going to hit that way. Now, a good way to practice is get, if you've got a golf course that's got an out of bounds fence down the right-hand side on one of the holes, and the tee's up near it, that really tests your nerve. You set up there, and you've got to feel like you're going to swing out across the out of bounds. When you run out of right arm, when you run out of arms out here, you can't keep going out. It'll come up and around. We mentioned this morning that Rory McIlroy, that he hits this big roping. Now he does draw the ball quite a considerable amount. It doesn't go 5 yards in the air. It's probably more like a 20-yard or 15-yard right to left. His big drives and his irons. You know, he's 30 feet right of the pin when it starts and it comes back. So with the driver, he hits it slightly on the upswing. As a matter of fact, he hits it quite a bit. He hits it about 6. Chris mentioned this morning, some tour players, they tee it down a bit lower and they come in more level, or maybe 1 or 2 on the down. It's a case of experimenting to feel which one's going to get you accuracy and distance. No good having the distance if you've got too much of a hook or a block. No good hitting it 100 meters in the air when a little bit more on the upswing will get it to carry that extra 50 meters.
50 meters.
Well, Chris, you told me, you've always given me this lesson. I've taken it to heart in the last 5 minutes. A little bit longer than that. But I was playing with Joe the other day, and Joe would be witness to this. I'd hit a few drives where the club was coming in pretty flat, and I wasn't that happy. Then I said to you, and I think might have been even on the 18th or the 9th, I'd hit it on the upswing, and it went considerably further, didn't it?
Yeah.
30 yards. I hit it 30 yards further than what I was hitting it. I probably hit it about 250. I'm talking yards now, not meters. Okay. By hitting it more on the up. And so for me, Rory has a bit of it's good for me. Again, you got to try it yourself. I think you hit a little further too, didn't you, Joe, when you did that?
Yeah, when I worked out what you meant by hitting it on the up, it did make a difference. It did go further. And it was working yesterday as well.
And it goes straighter too. That's the nice thing. It doesn't go out to the right.
Yeah.
Club has a chance to square up a bit better. Anyway, I think go through the. Go back to Chris. Has anyone got any particular part of the swing mechanics that they want to have a mention about?
Yeah, if we just did summarize the driver, Pete, just as far as the technique goes here. Remember, the driver, you want to have 5 inches wider as far as the base stance goes. Set up ball position is opposite the inside left inside left foot for a right-handed golfer. The body is a little bit more tilted. Obviously, if you get it a bit more tilted, it's going to hit a little bit more on the up, just by tilting a little bit. Takeaway is going to be low and slow. A lot of the great drivers have talked about that over the years. Backswing is longer due to the shaft length. So even though the swing might feel the same, on the video you will actually see the swing go back further because of the leverage of the shaft. And as Pete mentioned a bit earlier, the direction of the hit is more from in to out, so more from the inside, because the nature of the swing being a little bit more around. Anything you want to add to that, Pete? Or has anybody got
No,
any
I think that's
questions?
very, very good. The only thing I could probably say is depending on the flexibility in the ankles, I think to me, one of the key areas is when you finish the swing. Let me get this out the road. When I finish the swing, ideally you want the right knee tucked in against your left. Now, if you get too wide with a stance or you got not the flexibility in your right ankle, if you get there, I can't get that to there. That's about, I want this knee to touch. So that, and maybe the toes being a little more open, they look wider from toe to toe. The heels, I like the heels to be underneath my hips. I don't want them out. I don't want to have an angle outside. That allows the pivot to be less stressful on the joints. So definitely the driver is, it's because it's longer, if your toes are a little more flared out, not only will it help you turn better, but it will give you that feeling of more stability or centered, as opposed to being a little bit narrow with the irons. Because the irons, you're hitting it on the downswing, the driver is more off the front heel or instep. But thank you very much.
Excellent. Any questions or any discoveries anyone would like to share? I'm just watching tonight. Billy, what'd you get out of that? Anything in particular?
Just a little drill with the hip, with the ruler across the hips, turning back and into the forward position. It would be nice if Peter could just maybe do that drill and just post it on just that particular drill and just post it on, say, one of the Facebook pages. We can have just that one drill,
We might stop it and do it at the end here. As soon as all the questions answer, we just do the drill and everyone can get up and do. We'll do 100 of them before we go have a afternoon evening supper.
So with your driver, Peter, when you swing your driver at the top of your backswing, your hands are still more central in your core. So your right elbow is still tucked in, and
yeah, this would be my driver. This is the length of my driver. So here's my hands and arms, and when I turn,
they're in front of your chest.
What Chris said, because it's a longer shaft and the weight, it'll have a little bit more play in the wrist, and that little bit extra energy will probably stretch you a little bit more than it would with a wedge.
Yeah.
But you definitely, your hands and arms are here, they're not over here.
Yes.
And you're not up here either. I have seen a few golfers do that. It's quite amusing to see them go up. You've seen that, haven't you, Timmy? Yep. Okay. What about you, Ian? You've been very quiet there in the background there tonight.
No, good. Everything in general. Always pick up, little bits, little terms.
What
major? Lots of little bits.
Right. Just repetition. Okay. Okay. What about Wayne over there? He's over there and he's sitting down relaxing. Okay.
Yeah, I like how you marked out your glove there. That was a very interesting. Yeah, that was interesting. That was good. Just to remind you, that bit there on your thumb. I got a lot out of that. It's good.
That one.
Yep.
Very
Just the reminder. And obviously, hitting up on your driver is essential to get the as you say, the straightness and just a little bit more length and consistency in strike, really. You know, your length is your length. Sometimes you drill them in the middle, sometimes you don't quite. But if you can get them on the fairway, that helps a lot. Obviously. Yeah.
Now-
I played the Goldfields at Creswick yesterday. That's an interesting. Oh, on Saturday, so not yesterday, on Sunday. Sorry, that's an interesting course. It's very
I
tricky.
haven't played that one.
Yeah, it's very hilly.
Be
And
very dry, wouldn't it? Really
It's-
dry.
It's extremely dry. Yeah.
Yeah.
You mean Creswick Golf Club?
Yes, it is Creswick Golf Club. Yeah, it's the RACV Goldfields it's called. But yeah, that is Creswick Golf Club. Yeah, it's a great track. As I said, it's very interesting. It's very pinpoint. Doesn't look pinpoint, but when you're out there, it is. It's got a lot of slopes on it.
I won the Creswick Pro Am back in it must have been 95 or something, 96, something like that.
Right. Okay.
Little while ago.
When you're
Yeah.
a boy.
When I was a boy.
Yeah, nice
Yeah.
one. Yeah, no, I was just having a hit with some friends up at Ballarat. I stayed up there, but yeah, it was lovely. I'll definitely go back there and play again. It's a challenging course.
Excellent.
Mm.
How about you, Frankie? Tonight, what's been?
I was thinking about a couple of things. One is getting back to the doorway drill. And the other one was that naturally I tend to fade my drives, and I would really like to be able to draw them as well.
Right. Play the ball a little further forward and hit it on the upswing and see what happens. See if you can get the toe to go. Throw the toe.
Say that again. Say that again.
Throw the toe. The toe's the go.
Throw
The toe of the club. So the toe is the go. When you're throwing, what Chris said, make sure you're going down and out to the right, but don't leave the club face there. Think of the toe continuing. And if you hit it on the upswing, because the ball's forward, there's more chance the club's squaring up. If it gets a little further back, the tendency is the club doesn't have a chance to square up and close over. So really work on throwing that direction, but allow the toe to go. Don't block. Relax, release. Top spin. Thank you. How about you, Robin? What did you pick up tonight?
I was reflecting on forward press takeaway and not letting your left side drop when you moved from forward press to takeaway. So keeping your left shoulder up, keeping your left a little bit of a stretch in the left side.
Excellent.
What's the
I
cause
like
for
that
that?
idea up here, not down here.
Yeah. What do you mean, Chris?
Yeah, what's the cause for the left shoulder staying up on that takeaway? Is it the hands, the arms, the wrists, the head?
Well, it's got to be the hands, but
Yeah.
I'm not quite sure exactly how I do it. So if I think about just keeping the left side up and let everything happen.
Robin, sometimes you let your arms go across your body.
Yeah.
So after the forward press, you don't let the hands go back. The
Yeah.
hip, right hip, left shoulder, and that moves the handle. So when you press from here, don't move the arms.
Don't let the hands
just let the wrist move the right hip, the left shoulder, and then you'll find this as easy as this will stay up as a result. That's what Chris was.
Right.
When your arms get across your body, too much of this pulls the
which
body
I
down
do.
out of
Yeah,
whack.
no, I get that.
Super.
You get it right, you can really feel the difference.
What about Jenny up there? She's been very quiet in the background. Have to turn on your microphone, Jen. Your microphone's off. That's why you're quiet.
I'm still working on that throw the toe, and if it works, it's fabulous. But It's not always great.
Yeah, well, you'll be right. In a couple of weeks' time, you'll be singing the throw the toe. Okay, there's Wayne. He's out there practicing.
The curling of the last three fingers would help that though, Peter, wouldn't it?
Exactly. This action, the hands up there, it goes down. The curling goes down and over. It
Because
doesn't go
McElroy
forward, it
does
goes
that.
down and over. So
Yeah. And the club face
Doesn't
looks
go-
shut at that 3/4 of follow through there.
yeah, it's got to feel like it closes down earlier. Yep.
Mm.
By the wrist going this way and that way, not just don't go down. As it goes down, really feel the left wrist flatten and arch. So the earlier that happens, that action clears the hip, so you won't hook it. You think you will hook it, but when you do that, it clears the hip. So
Mhm.
now the club's way back.
And the right thumbs, Peter, do they point more downward?
The right hands. Well, if you look at the one I just gave, I think I got Benny up today with. He discovered the right hand karate chops this way. It doesn't come over. It's always under.
And
Okay.
yeah.
Anyway, folks, the 9 o'clock bell is gone. School is
Done.
rightio, Chris. Gonna
Yeah, rightio. We'll
ring the bell?
finish up, ring the bell. All right, thanks,
Good on you.
thanks everyone for joining in. So next week, bring your gym equipment, wear your gym clothes, because we're going to be doing some working out. We're going to be doing repetition with what we learned today. Sound good?
Great.
Yeah,
Right.
no sitting down next week. Got that, Timmy? You'll be up and about. You'll work up a thirst next week, mate.
Okay,
No,
have a
mate.
good trip, Peter.
Okay.
Yeah. All right,
Thanks,
see you,
Rob.
everyone.
See you,
Bye.
see you next week.
Thanks
Bye.
very much. See you,
Righto.
everyone.
Bye.
Thank you.
Thanks, Pete. Thanks,
Thanks, Wayne.
thanks everyone.
Thanks, Wayne. Thanks, Joe.
Thanks.